Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Muhammad Islami bin Muhammad Kamal. My metric number 26472. Um, I'm from a group J, from the BKAR T023, and my beloved lecturer is Dr. Muhammad Sharafi bin Haji Ismail. So for today, I would like to discuss about Islamic accounting issue. So we already heard that in accounting we have conventionals and also we have Islamic. So for this presentation, I would like to explain what the Islamic accounting issue. Okay, for this discussion, for this presentation, we will look at the 17. The first is we will look at the introduction of Islamic accounting. So then the second, we will look at the avoidance in Islamic principle, what Islam avoid from participate. And then we look at entrusted Islamic body, what the body include body interfere for Islamic accounting. And then we will look at the misunderstanding in interest. We know that rate of interest have in conventional, or also rate, but not interest rates. I will discuss later. And then we will look at the Islamic finance instrument. What is the instrument finance used for the Islamic finance? And then we look at the Islamic principle helps during a global finance crisis. Although we look we short form it as the GFC, like COVID-19 pandemic. So we will discuss later. And then the last we will look at the conclusions. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, shall we continue about introduction of Islamic accounting? So, what Islamic accounting? So, Islamic accounting, you know that all the Islam ways or Islam do is must be have the sources. So, the sources of accounting Islam is from reference from the references of the Quran and the Hadith. So, we take the Quran and Hadith and we make the accounting standard for accounting, Islamic accounting. And what the objective of the Islamic accounting? So the objective is same like others, is to get the court billing and to protect the human welfare. So this is the objective. And then so we need to have the accounting system to establish in our social Islamic Islamic social economy. So we need to have the system of accounting to make clear about the Islamic economy. So what the element of the Islamic accounting? So you have the three element that Hunayfa and Hudaybah states, Habas and Wise. They say that the element of Islamic accounting, the first we need to have a justice. Justice in Arabic called al-adalah. Second, we need to have the ihsan meaning benevolence. And the third, we need to have the falah and excellence. We do our like in economy, we target for the profit. So there's the falah and the ihsan. We keep the right and obligation of the buyer and the selling. And the justice, justice is also justice not biased to the selling or the buyers. So for the second is avoidance in Islam principle. So we know that some of the conventional principle is not suitable, or some of the principle of conventional is forbidden in Islam. So there's some avoidance in Islamic principle. So I will explain. Okay, the first is riba. So we know the riba is the increment of amount by amount. So when we look at as payer of the riba, so when it has the increment of amount and it's contain some violates to the payer, and then okay, this is similar The first is unconditional rewards, and then the gara, the same meaning of unconditional reward or uncertainty of reward, and then the master. So unconditional rewards that we cannot ensure what the future, or we cannot ensure what's the when you do the something, so you cannot ensure the profit or the loss. Okay, and then the mindset. The mindset is like gambling. So gambling, so you rely on your luck. So if you have a good luck, so you will get the profits. But otherwise, when your luck is bad, so you will get the loss. So usually loss lah, we get the loss lah from the master or this gambling. So the last elements, or the last element of the violence in Islam finance is about the haram element. So when some industry, some company do investment in haram activity, like selling porks, like selling or the beer, and then do a gambling activity. So this type of elements is also avoided in Islamic principle. Okay, then the entrusted Islamic body. So we have some Islamic body in for the Islamic accounting. I listed about 3 Islamic body here. The first is AUFI. So AUFI is accounting audit organizations, Islamic finance institution. So what the AUFI is a non-profit organization. It started in Bahrain, and what they do, they develop an assurance of Islamic accounting standard for global for the global Islamic finance. So this AUFI is the big one lah. Second is Islamic Finance Knowledge Center, or IFKC. It's maintained by Deloitte. Deloitte is auditor company. What the purpose? The purpose is to set the standard and the focusing on the leadership in Islamic finance. And the third is very close to us. Is the Suruhanjaya is the Security Commission Sharia Advisory Council. So the mission is to promote the fair, efficient, secure and transparent security. This usually for the investment. I thought that I think this part is important because this part is the famous one about the misunderstanding in interest. So we look at the conventional instrument bank. We have bonds, and at the same time in Islamic finance, we also have the instrument of suku. So both have the same the interest, the rate, but for the conventional we call the interest rate, but at the same time for the suku we call the rate of suku. So this principle, this is two conventional and Islamic have a different principle because the rate is not for interest. Because in the Quran it says a verse of in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 275, it says that wahalallahu bay'a wa harrama riba, and Allah had permit trade, and the same time and Allah had permit trade, and Allah had forbid interest or riba. So what are the principle used in suku? The principle used in suku is the profit sharing principle, because we know that the suku is about the borrower and lender, and when the lender give some money to a borrower, so it risk to the borrower. Then later I will explain what the risk of the lender. So we at this situation we have a profit sharing. The lender can get the risk of return of what they give to borrower by addition of the rates. At the same time, the borrower have profits, but he get the money for their goal of activity. So there's a difference of interest in conventionals and the rate in Islam. Okay, next we move to the Islamic finance instrument. So in Islam we have Islamic finance instrument. So I highlight about three finance instrument, Islamic finance instruments. That the famous one, and they have others. But I highlight about three. The first is the sukuk. The sukuk, like I explained earlier, it seems like bonds, but doesn't use the principle of riba or interest, but they use the profit sharing. So, what are the risks when the lender give to borrower? There are many risks. Maybe usually the borrower cannot pay back the money. So maybe like COVID-19, we see that many company, many industry has shut down their operations or their activities, so they cannot pay back their what they lend or their loan. Okay. From the risk is back to the lender with the risk of return by profits. Uh, then the murabaha principle, seller and buyer. The seller agree with the buyer that he will take some of the margin profits from the transfer, example of transferable of assets. So he agree with the buyer that he will take some of the profit, some of the margin profit. And then the third is lease payment. So lease payment in Islam, some people call al-ijarah, but there's some people call bet sama ajil. So it seems like lease payment, but it doesn't have no interest, compound interest like riba we have discussed earlier. uh, we have a clear of a contract, so we have a agreement with our client. So this is the Islamic finance instrument. So okay, for this part we will look how the Islamic finance help during global crisis, global finance crisis. So today in Malaysia we have faced a huge pandemic of COVID-19. So this is the global finance crisis lah. So how the Islamic finance do during the COVID-19, or how it help. So we know that in budget 2021, Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala have issued suku bond. So suku bond, it issued to cut the interest, to avoid company to be involved in interest. So it's the way to recovering the economic purpose. So we need industry to make an action to develop their activity of economy, and they need to money. So through the suku bond, it is the burden of the industry or the company. And due to the high levels of debts, it contribute economy to great recession. So we know when the COVID-19, people doesn't have money. So with the great with the high leverage debt, with the interest, the compound interest. So it doesn't ease the household or the industry to pay debts. So we can see that Tunku Zafrul has announced the moratorium. It kept off the interest compound, and we can see that without the interest, so economy can be run like usual, like always and usual. So for conclusion, we can see that there are many benefits from the Islamic finance or Islamic principle used for accounting. um, and we should implement the Islamic accounting principle of standards in our Malaysia, in our other country. Like we can see that other countries are also involved in Islamic principle, like China, like Japan, also London. They have implement, they have run the Islamic accounting standards. And we can see that in Malaysia, how the Malaysian rates on the Islamic finance. We can see this is the previous data. It can see that almost 50% of the Malaysians is contribute with the Islamic accounting principle or Islamic finance. And we know that the core objective of the the Islamic accounting principle is not for the self-interest, or is not for the public interest only, but is consider with the welfare of the of around the world, or around is if protect the human rights, protect the welfare of human. And the important is to get to God willing, or Allah willing. So I think that's all for my presentation today. I hope you will enjoy and understand what I present. So okay, see you in the next time.